All right, my next guest, who's very kindly joining me straight from the airport, he is heading back home to Florida from the press conference. The third-ranked welterweight Colby Chaos Covington, who will take on RDA for the interim welterweight title June 9th in Chicago, not UFC 224 in Brazil. That has been changed. He very kindly joins me straight from the airport. Colby Chaos Covington. Colby, how are you? Are you there? Hello?
Hey, what's up, Farah?
Hey, Colby, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. You're flying back to Florida now, right?
Yeah, I'm about to fly back to Florida from Brooklyn right now.
So it's a quick business trip. You weren't planning on staying here at all.
What's that?
I said this was a quick business trip for you. You weren't planning on spending any time in New York.
Yeah, just a quick business trip, do this press conference and back to work. I got a belt to win.
Absolutely. An interesting press conference that just went down. We were surprised to hear that the fight has now moved to Chicago June 9th. What happened? Was it the UFC's idea to change it?
Yeah, it was all the UFC's idea to change it. They had a fear of my safety. Brazil, there's a bounty on my head. They want me dead over there. So, they had to change it to Chicago, and they did it. I heard because all the Conor McGregor fiasco, they were getting a lot of bad press. So they didn't want any more bad press with me going back to Brazil.
So this was super recent. I mean, you're pretty much talking about they changed it yesterday, pretty much.
Yeah, it was super recent. I just found out today and stuff from my agent Dan Lambert, and I was happy and a little bit relieved. I was nervous to go back to Brazil. A lot of people want me dead there.
And because I was surprised because they didn't have the montage of you and RDA kind of the fight prep before, and I was assuming that something went wrong, but maybe it's because it was targeted towards Brazil and they had to remove that because it was a last second change, right?
Yeah, I think they started to to hear the response from Brazilians saying that people were gonna look to get my head there. They were gonna look to kill me, and I just think the UFC was like, they don't think they could have the security level to fend off all those people, So, I think they made the right choice, letting me stay on American soil for once.
And date wise, it's not that much different, right? It's just a couple weeks. Does that change anything for you? Does it matter, or is it the same?
No, it doesn't matter to me. I got big balls. I was ready to go back to Brazil. It didn't matter to me if I'm fighting 4 weeks later, 4 weeks earlier. I'm ready to beat RDA tonight. So, it's kind of nice to get a little bit extra time because it's a 5-round fight, and to be able to fight on U.S. soil for my first world title fight. It's a dream come true.
Nice, and your training partner Yoel Romero's on that card as well. So it must be a lot of ATT guys that are going to come out and watch the fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. ATT takeover. Yoel Romero's gonna win the middleweight belt. I'm gonna win the welterweight belt. I got a lot of roots in the Midwest area because I went to college in Iowa. So, I expect a big turnout for me in Chicago on June 9th.
Awesome. And what were your thoughts on the press conference? We saw more back and forth with you and Kamaru Usman than RDA. Were you expecting that?
Could you say that one more time?
I said, what were your thoughts on the press conference? We saw more back and forth with you and Kamaru than your opponent RDA. Were you expecting that?
Yeah, guys are jealous of what I'm doing right now, what I'm accomplishing. So, everybody's going to be a little hostile and try and say stupid things to build them up because, they're mad. They're mad that they're not in the position I'm in. But, I'm at the big boys table, and if they want to get to the big boys table, they need to earn their way up there. They're not going to get gifted it.
Did you see him at all backstage after the press conference?
What's that?
I said, did you see Kamaru at all backstage in the press conference? He kept talking about backstage and all that.
I don't pay attention to that kid. He needs to get a rank win. He needs to get some wins. We're in the fight business, man. I'm not in the feelings business. His feelings are hurt, obviously. He's mad that, I'm a better fighter than him. He's my biggest fanboy. That's all I can say about that little kid.
All right, let's talk about the fight, interim welterweight title fight. You're being called out by so many guys. It seemed like everybody wanted to fight you, but you stayed patient and caught your opportunity. Did you always know that you were going to get a title fight of some sort? I mean, how did the process go down? Because I know you've been wanting to fight for a while now.
Yeah, I knew it was just a matter of time till I was going to fight for the title. Look at my numbers. The numbers don't lie. The stats don't lie. I've completely ran through this division. I just beat the most fresh welterweight challenger, and I beat him worse than the champion did. So, there's a lot of beef between me and the champion, Tyrone Woodley. So, I knew it was only a matter of time until I was going to get that big fight. I set up this fight with RDA. This fight is a big money fight. I have the history with Brazil. So, these are big fights that I set the hooks in early on, and now they're paying off.
And when did the idea of an interim title come into discussion? Was that always the plan?
The plan originally, we were supposed to fight Tyrone Woodley for the undisputed welterweight title, but Tyrone's faking injuries. He's in Hollywood gossiping. He's talking about the Kardashians. So he doesn't want to fight anymore. He just wants to get famous and be in Hollywood. So, the interim title got brought up when he started turning down every fight in the book. So once he was turning down all the fights, they knew they had to make an interim title fight. He hasn't fought in 9 months. So, it's coming up on a year by the time I fight. So, the interim title needed to be presented.
And without asking you for any figures, of course, but I heard you say in another interview that you're going to get paid like a champion. Is that correct?
I mean, I'm definitely going to have a lot more zeros next to my paycheck than all these other bums.
All right, nice. And let's talk about the matchup. RDA, what do you make of him as a fighter? Have you been impressed by him and his run at welterweight?
No, I haven't been impressed at all with him. He's still the little juiced up lightweight, coming up to welterweight. His 3 wins aren't that impressive. He beat 3 hand-picked opponents, 3 guys that were on the downslip of their careers who, aren't the same fighters anymore. So I don't really make a lot of RDA. He's short. He's a little midget. And, I'm gonna give him a big wedgie on June 9th in Chicago, only on pay-per-view.
And how do you see this fight playing out?
I see me finishing RDA in the second round. First round, he's going to come out emotional, trying to knock me out, and he's just going to wear himself out. And, I'm going to pick him apart in that first round, pick my shots wisely, be smart, calm and collected under the pressure. And second round, I'll finish him. He'll be in a pool of blood, begging for mercy, just like Damian Maia was.
And tell me a little bit about your training camp.
Like to welcome customer group C, once again, customer group A, B, C, and...
Yeah, my training camp is so good, man. An American Top Team. We have all the styles to match for RDA. I got my guy Gleason Tebow. He's this, he fought RDA and he's the similar style. He's a southpaw. So, I got Jorge Masvidal, my best friend. That guy's the best look. He can change. He can go southpaw and mimic any fighter in the game. So, having my best friend Jorge Masvidal along this journey is huge. And American Top Team, we got the best of everything, best jiu-jitsu, best Muay Thai and everything. So I'm going to be well prepared for June 9th.
And for you, normally in a training camp, does it differ depending on the opponent? I mean, do you have a specific focus for this one and for RDA?
No, it's for me, it's self-improvement every camp. I'm not worried about opponents. I'm just worried about being the best Colby Chaos Covington I can be. So, I don't want to worry about what he does. I'm just focused on what I do. I'm not worried about what he's going to do to me. He's going to have to stop what I do to him.
All right, one last thing. I really appreciate the time. You did give me a prediction a little bit earlier. Are you sticking with that, or are you saying you're going to get a second-round finish over RDA?
Yeah, second round, I'm going to TKO RDA. That's a guaranteed fact. Take that. Mark my words. Take that to the bank.
All right, Colby, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know you're about to fly. Safe travels and best of luck June 9th.
Thanks, Farrah. Thanks for having me on. Much appreciated. We'll talk to you soon.